Thanks so much for joining us on Newsday. I'm Temitope Fagbemi.
And I'm Hawa Mukan. The political crisis in Rivers State has escalated as the State House of Assembly initiated impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Ordum. The Assembly had on Monday filed a notice of impeachment accusing the governor of gross misconduct, particularly in the management of public funds. In violation of the Nigerian Constitution, the notice signed by 26 members was dated Friday, March the 14th of 2025. The letter was titled Notice of Allegations of Gross Misconduct and addressed to the Speaker, Martin Zamewule, outlined the governor's alleged violations and referenced a Supreme Court ruling which condemned Fubara's actions, stating that political disagreements do not justify contempt for the law. The Assembly also pointed out that Fubara had failed to present the 2025 appropriation bill to the House, despite previous instructions. Governor Fubara had planned to present the budget on March 12th of this year, but was denied entry to the Assembly complex. He later blamed the lawmakers for frustrating his compliance with the Supreme Court order to represent the budget. The lawmakers, led by Speaker Amewule, accused the governor of undermining the implementation of the Supreme Court's decision, specifically the directive to resubmit the budget. Well, now to discuss the possible fallout, the political fallout, should Governor Sim Fubara be removed from office, and how would the seizure of the Rivers State allocation impact governance and alternative financing strategies for the state? Former Special Advisor for the Governor, the former Governor, Nyesom Wike, Opunabo Inko-Tariah, joins us now for a conversation. Glad to have you here on Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and good afternoon.
Well, the situation has come to a head. What do you make of how things have transpired?
Well, the situation in Rivers State I'll describe as irksome. It's quite troubling. But let me quickly state that Rivers people are highly disappointed. There can never be a crueler tyranny than that perpetrated under the shield of the law. A situation where the tempest of justice blows fitfully. Take a mental flight to the Obasanjo era, when the president was the governor of Lagos State, and the allocation was stopped by Obasanjo. They went to court, and the Supreme Court said it was illegal, that you cannot stop allocation to a state, that the allocations are end. In this particular instance now, the Supreme Court is telling us, or not just telling us, ordering the stoppage of allocation to Rivers State. I mean, it's a clear case of what I describe as manacled segregation and chain discrimination. And that's why I asked if the tempest of justice should blow fitfully. If you look at the stoppage of the allocation, let us be honest with ourselves. It will not affect the governor. Because this is a governor that has said he has achieved so much, or this much, with just what he gets from IGRO. A governor in the history of Rivers State that has not borrowed. He has just been depending on IGRO and allocation from the states. So if you stop the allocation, you are not punishing the governor. Because if he's a governor that is avaricious, he's going to leech on the internally generated revenue and abandon other responsibilities. And when you question him, he will tell you there is no money, no allocation. He's going to use that as a subterfuge. But we have a governor that is solicitous for the welfare of Rivers people, and we know he's not going to do that. Look at the hospitals, salaries, babies on oxygens, pregnant women, workers who at the end of the month will be waiting for their wages, even when the wages are not enough, sufficient enough to cater for them. And now you're saying, stop the allocation. I mean, we cannot imagine, the reasonableness in that is what we question. We are not really bad. The Supreme Court has spoken. Like Justice Robert Jackson rightly said, the Supreme Court is final. It is final not because it is infallible, it is infallible because it is final. A quote ascribed to the late Justice Opunabo, but actually a quote by Robert Jackson. So the Supreme Court has spoken. You can only appeal to God. There is nothing you can do when it comes to that. But this same governor, you said, must represent the budget, went to the assembly to represent the budget, acting in reliance upon the Supreme Court judgment. And what did they do? They locked the gates of the assembly to frustrate him because there is this ulterior motive. They want to commence impeachment proceedings with a view to removing him from office. I pray and I fear that this will not consume those who are flaming the embers of trouble, fire, stoking the embers of fire. I just hope it's not going to consume us. And we want Mr. President to also realize that the situation we find ourselves in is not quite different from the situation he found himself in when the Supreme Court came to his rescue. Because he created the LCDAs. And the Obasanjo said those LCDAs were illegal. The Supreme Court made a pronouncement. Yaradua came on board and paid Lagos State the allocation being owed by the Obasanjo's administration. Why is our case different? Why would the Supreme Court cherry pick in the administration of justice, knowing too well that those that are going to suffer, like I rightly said, are the citizens and not the governor? Because the governor, the IGR, the man told us, I'm talking of the governor, was even the one who opened our eyes to the fact that we were not actually generating about 14 or 15 billion naira. We are generating far more. He told us we are about 27, 28 billion naira. Now you are talking of impeachment, you want to remove him from office for gross misconduct. As at when he presented the budget to the Victor Okojumbo-led assembly, there was a court judgment that invalidated the membership of the 27 members and validated the membership and the speakership of Victor Okojumbo, as at when the budget was presented. But the Supreme Court has said, no, go back and represent those budgets, not minding the perjury, because they deposed to an affidavit in court. So the issue of perjury, are they telling us is no longer a crime in this country? Because you described the video recordings and so as jamboree. What of the affidavit?
Allow me to interrupt you at this
no longer
point.
A crime? Where he deposed. Yes.
Allow me to interrupt you
Yes.
at this point. You talked about plans to impeach the
Yes.
governor. And I'm wondering, what are the potential political implications of removing Fubara from office? And how will this impact the stability of governance in Rivers State?
Well, first and foremost, if that happens, it's going to entrench godfatherism, which we are all averse to, and which is what Fubara is fighting against. It's going to entrench it. It is curious, when Ambode return was being frustrated, the same FCT minister was the one who told Ambode to resist it, that cannot happen in Rivers State. When Mr. President's allocation was withheld as governor of Lagos State, the Supreme Court said, no, you cannot. Now in Rivers State, that's why it says Manaku Segura and chain discrimination. Now in Rivers State, you're saying it is proper. If you look at the implications, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with redoubled effort. The governor is a peaceful man. He will definitely tell you to eschew violence. But you cannot compel us, especially when we are pushed to the wall, to remain silent. It's not all about Fubara. Even the last time I appeared, I said it's not all about Governor Fubara. No. It's all about democracy. It's all about the Rivers people. Now there is this rumor, unconfirmed anyway, that they should be part of the negotiation should be, I control the local governments and you will not get back in 2027. That is not what we want at all. Not one man to control the state. And that is why Rivers people are saying no. The support the governor has is organic. That's why Rivers people are saying no. If this happens, then Nigerians, I'm on live television, so I'll be very careful. I'll choose the right words from the word basket. If we are not careful, then Rivers persons are going to rise up against this dictatorship. And nobody can tell how the pendulum will swing. Nobody can tell. And that's why we're saying, look, yes, okay, Mr. President, you are the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If sincerely you are not part of this, surreptitiously, then do something about it. The man has gone to court. I believe that his lawyers will also go to court to inform the court that, look, the governor tried and they stopped him just to frustrate him in order to achieve their devilish aims of impeachment. Rivers people are not just going to sit back and watch. The minister said, to hell with the judge. He went to Abalama and reneged. He said, no, he never said so. I was trying to give a word once spoken is past recalled. It's life. So you threaten the people, you insult E.K. Clark, you insult the best governor we've had in Rivers State, J.T. Spieth, not just president of old Rivers State and so on, insult the holy judge. No.
Yeah.
There is a limit anybody can take. There is a limit anybody can take.
And
you dead everybody in Rivers State.
Very well said.
So the point we are making is this. Yeah, the point we are making is this. If they are unable to resolve this crisis amicably, the consequences could consume not just Rivers State. That's one major point I want to raise. It will consume the nation as a whole because Rivers State, look at, you're stopping allocation to Rivers State, but you're using the proceeds, fruits from Rivers State to fund other states. How callous can that be? Well, you have the oil here in Rivers State. And you're saying we should not be beneficiaries of the proceeds.
Well,
but other states must benefit from it.
For the sake of time, we agree with you. This is a sad situation as it develops. We do thank you for your time and for coming to speak on this subject. Opunabo Inko-Tariah, former special advisor to Nyesom Wike.